Hello, it is a, must get the day right today, I got it wrong last week. Today's a Thursday morning and it's a lovely sunny day. We've had some awful rain in south of Scotland and apparently this is the best day we're going to have for a few days, so I'll be going out to do a little bit of gardening myself soon on my day off. A quick update on other things. I'm not too sure of the process here, but I still haven't had anything come through to say for the removal strike process. I'm a bit confused because I can't upload the same video. I don't know if you're aware of this, but if somebody takes down your video, if you try to upload the same video, somehow digitally YouTube knows it's the same video and goes back and says, oh, you're trying to duplicate a video that's already been knocked back. A little bit confused. So I don't have had the cut. So far I don't know what I'm supposed to do. The video's been removed by YouTube, but YouTube haven't gone back and says, oh yeah, we've been contacting Mr. James Workshire Evans and he's quite happy for us to allow you to go back up. And I'm confused. It seems that once it's been removed, it has been removed. And I think he said he was happy for me to put it back up if I remove the thumbnail. However, if you put a duplicate video up, you can't do, because YouTube's quite smart. It goes, oh, you're putting duplicate video up. So I think the copyright strike. I'm confused. I'm really confused because they won't put it up. So how does a copyright strike? He says he's happy if I put it back up, but I can't put it back up because YouTube removed it. So you see the problem there. And it's not even an important video any point anymore anyway, so I don't really know what to do. Anyway, moving on from this, and needless to say, he didn't phone me last night after what I thought we'd lose, United would lose to Bayern Munich. He never phoned me up to have a chat about the goalkeeper and things like this. So maybe that's the end of that, and I'm not expecting a Christmas card either. So anyway, yes. So anyway, there's a new guy on the block. I don't know how long he's been on the block for, but he's called XJW Panda Tower. And I don't know, I think probably it comes up as watch next, or maybe somebody's put his link on Twitter, I don't know. And this is maybe the second video of his I've watched. Purely because it says when cart witnessing goes wrong. So if you go to XJW Panda Tower, it's been watched. It's been watched 10,000 times. It's got proper day going already. As I've said before, we're getting into the realms now that when Workshire Evans puts up anything, it gets very minimal views and it reaches a ceiling level, and that's it. And yet this guy one day puts up a video and it's already been viewed 9,000 and whatever times. So you can see the way this is going. He's just getting completely pushed so down the pecking order. He'll only have his faithful disciples who are going to watch his stuff, and even apparently his Twitter account is now gone private as well. So it looks like he's just going to keep his little band of merry warriors together to sort of provide him an income, so he doesn't have to go and do that god-awful thing that most of us have to do and actually go and do a hard day's work. So anyway, XJW Panda Tower, when cart witnessing goes wrong. Now interestingly, I've never seen, actually no, in all the witnessy things that there does exist in this world, their activities, it is the carting specifically which does my head in, purely because I just don't understand. When I think about when we did street work and we actually went and did this thing and approached people, tried to show them the Bible, because quite often we wanted to show people the Bible because we knew that most people had never read the Bible, seen the Bible, and never knew the verses in the Bible. We wanted to show them the truth from the Bible so that they could then see it for themselves. So to do that, we would approach them, and of course we go to people's doors, the same thing. As soon as we could come out, get out the Bible, do that all the time. And with the witnessy things, I go up and approach them because of course it absolutely does my nut in that they just stand there in silence. Now, part of my job, I have to promote the product, a particular product, and by doing that I have to engage with people. Engaging people, I always start with hello, how are you, are you visiting today, do you live locally, how long you here, blah blah blah. You get into a little bit of rapport with them, and then you suggest the product that you truly believe would benefit them in their holiday in Scotland. But if I stood there and said nothing, I wouldn't be able to sell any memberships. If I stood there and said nothing, I would sell nothing. I don't get money for selling them, it's just like good to do so, but it's part of the job and supposed to promote our products. Like I said, stand there, say nothing, nothing's going to happen, apart from your person who might have read about it. So this is the same thing with the witnesses. In their case, their product they believe is a life-saving work. They believe that what they have to offer is the truth about everything, and that unless that person listens to them, they will surely die at Armageddon. So I can't understand that when you've got a life-saving product to place, to talk about why they stand still, and they won't even engage with people as they walk past. There won't be, hello, how are you? Oh, nice to meet you. Are you on holiday down here? Or do you live locally? Nothing. They will not engage in conversation at all. And I find it really, really disturbing. And I find it for what we had to do when we were, whoever's watching this video was witnesses, when we used to have to then approach people, when a lot of us wouldn't want to approach people because naturally the natural inclination to approach a complete stranger on the street is like, oh no, I don't want to do that. But we did that. We were told that that's what we'd have to do. So to me, for these carters doing this, I've said it time and time again, I cannot imagine Jesus doing the carter work. I can't imagine Jesus standing there saying nothing when in fact they're supposed to be imitating the Christ. I can't imagine Christ imitating the carters, to be perfectly honest with you. And of course, when I approach them, eventually, very quickly, I go into, I used to be a witness mode. So it's interesting to see this guy sort of lifting two videos from two other people, one who was a religious pastor and one who's an atheist, on this latest video, which you should go and watch. Because interestingly, in both cases, with the person who was a pastor, a religious pastor, and the person who was a, a atheist, in both cases, that the witnesses refused to debate with the person, the two people. They refused to debate. The Bible never came out once. I think they quoted it, but at no point did they actually say, well, can I just show you here? The Bible never came out, even with the religious pastor, who obviously believes in the Bible. And it was pretty obvious that they just don't like to talk about their beliefs. When you go and ask them what their beliefs are, or more importantly, to substantiate their beliefs, they don't want to. In every single case, they were saying, directing people to jw.org, and one guy was going, well, if I go there, how will I find the answer to my questions? It's utterly weird. And the guy was saying, so in other words, you can't defend your own beliefs, you can't talk about them with me, but and he was actually saying, do you understand them to yourselves? Yeah, we understand them, but we prefer not to talk about them. Isn't it extraordinary? Can you imagine Jesus saying, I'm not prepared to talk about my Father, or about the kingdom, or about anything at all, but I'm going to direct you to jw.org. Can you imagine Jesus or the disciples refusing to reason from the scriptures with somebody who's asking pertinent questions? I find it extraordinary that there's clear stance with two different witnesses. So it's not the same people who are just, rogue carters. These are two different witnesses. Well, three and then two. Because obviously, group number two needed somebody else to come and bail them out. And in both instances, Bible doesn't come out. No really mention about anything else apart from JW.org, which is, the new golden calf, as it were. Everything's been directed to that. These people refuse to debate, they refuse to reason from the scriptures. And if you try to ask, say, can you just answer that? And I watched recently, funny enough, on the same channel, was when a witness was getting interviewed on a radio station, and this XJW Panda put it up as well. And it was the same line, because the guy was asking him, this elder, and the guy was just going, no, and the guy had already, the elder, on his little phone here, clearly didn't have a Bible in his hand. Bible, who would have thought? And clearly he's got all these things on here, and he says, no, I prefer to talk about this. And then each time the radio presenters tried to go off script, as it were, each time the guy would say, I'm not actually prepared to talk about that. That's by, I actually use a phrase, it's by on my pay grade, I believe, and direct them to jw.org. Isn't it incredible now that this organisation has gone down the road that they will not reason from the scriptures. They don't want to debate about their beliefs, substantiate their beliefs, prove their beliefs are true, and thereby by showing the conviction of their beliefs maybe pass that on to the person who's talking to them. But instead it's every time saying, no, you know, I'll send you to jw.org. And that's very similar to that letter that got sent to my workplace the other week. It said, again, directing people not to scripture, but to jw.org. In fact, my email response probably featured more scriptures, I think I quoted like 2 scriptures, than they did in their letter to me. It really is odd. The organisation's gone away from scripture, and it's all funneled down jw.org. They won't debate, they won't reason with you. They just will stay silent, and if you ask them any questions at all, they just go, no, I'm not prepared to do this. Talk about defending the faith. They don't defend the faith. They don't do nothing. They won't reason from the scriptures. It is, I don't know what's happened to this organisation. Do they lack the courage of the conviction of their beliefs to be able to explain them properly? Maybe that's the case. And that's it. Maybe it's just that if you just ask them really easy questions, they'll just doubt. They'll say, no, you know, we're not here to debate here. We're to stay here, stay silent. And if you want to take some lectures, you can go away and then look up jw.org. That's what the Jehovah's Witnesses have come to today. I find it utterly shocking. I really, really, really do. So it was interesting to see people, unlike me, going to the Carters, who are actually just asking them to explain their beliefs, when normally when I go, I already know more about their beliefs than they do. So it's a completely different experience. But to see them, if anybody said to me, you know, oh well, can I direct you to jw.org? And I think maybe somebody might have said that before, and I'd give them both barrels. I think the 2 people who were directed that way, I think they were quite contained. I don't think I would be as contained. My frustration as much as these 2 guys. Anyway, I just thought I'd say that to you. If anybody goes and watch this guy, XJW Panda Tower, the only thing that I problem with of XJW Panda Tower is, again, a little bit like Lloyd Workshire Evans, is that he wants people to send him money so he can continue his work and to be patrons of him. And again, I've said this before and I'll say it again, if anybody's asking you to send money so they can continue doing this, I think that there's a problem there. You know, I think that's the problem I have with that. You should do this for free. You know, lots of people got a lot of time to just do this. I do these videos for free when I've got a spare 20 minutes and upload it and whatever it is. Yes, they obviously mirror the other people's stuff, but there's other people do that. Kim and Mikey do that. They mirror a lot of other people's stuff and they don't ask people to send them money. So yeah, I'm with Mikey in that one. I think if anybody starts asking you to send money, maybe you know, it's time to think twice on that one. So I'm not a subscriber to XJW Panda. I won't be sending him this person any money. However, I do appreciate the time he's gone in to do this, and I find that the videos, the last couple of videos of his that I've watched, quite interesting. Whether I'll watch another one again, I don't know. Not obviously, you know, just if something comes into my feed, I might interesting watch it, or it may just pique my interest. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to go out and do something in the garden today because it's a nice sunny day. Anyway, thank you for watching, and any comments, you know what to do. And don't send me any money. Bye bye.